Hey, this is Michael from Dead Girls Academy, and you're watching Metal Nexus.
I know you've been to the UK before, but how's it been treating you on this run?
It's been great. I mean, everyone's been super friendly, super helpful. Doing your first headliner, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's been pretty great. I mean, London last night was absolutely amazing. So I'm living off that moment right now. It was really great, yeah.
So that's a memory to take home.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. You have said on Alchemy that you have sang in ways you've never sang before. How much training went into getting your voice ready for tour?
Oh man, a lot of training went into changing this niche sound that I had with Vampires Everywhere and becoming more of a melodic band. And I had a little vocal training with vocal coaches. I warm up every day. I'm at home on the piano, just doing scales, just trying to get the most seasons I could possibly get to perform the way I do. And it seems to be working pretty well, and I'm getting a lot more comfortable with the music in this set as well. So, yeah.
Definitely sounds good on Alchemy anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. You performed on last year's Vans Warped Tour, which was the last nationwide tour. Do you see any of the current festivals becoming as legendary as the Warped Tour was?
Currently, I wouldn't know. I mean, a lot of the Danny Wimmer festivals out in the US, or the radio festivals, are just so iconic. I mean, he just did the Sonic Temple. We weren't on that, but that is a giant, amazing festival with a lot of diverse bands. And I like being on bills where you have a lot of giant rock bands, but you have a little diverse, like you have a little pop punk, you have a little hardcore, and it just has that Warped feel, but it's just on a giant scale. And we're actually performing at Rockville this year, and that's going to be amazing, and I'm excited for that. I mean, Warped Tour is Warped Tour. Lyman created such an amazing, epic situation for bands to come and show what they got to all their fans and stuff, and I don't think that can be duplicated. That is just something that he has created, but I think those other festivals hopefully will catch on and do something more worldwide like that.
Awesome. Talking of the Warped Tour, you broke your elbow in Dallas and continued performing. Can you tell us what happened and what was going through your head at that stage?
Yes, so to get more attention on the tour, I was climbing on the bass drum. Now, it sounds like it's not that high, but when it's on a platform, on some sort of other platform, it was pretty high in the air, and all I did the whole tour was kind of hang from the bar or jump off of it, and it started snowballing as we did Warped Tour, and we kept getting more and more fans to the stage, and so we woke up, we're like, oh, we're opening Dallas, we wish we had a later slot, and then it turned out the entire, Warped Tour crowd was pretty much at our stage. So it just packed out, man. And I was like, all right, I need to do something spectacular. So I got on the kick drum and tried to do a jump kick backwards, and instead, I fell on my arm.
Man.
Pretty sure I blacked out for a quick second.
Yeah.
The crowd was looking at me all crazy, and my tech ran over to me and asked me if I needed a hospital. And I instead muscled through it and finished the set and then did a signing.
Wow.
And then went back to the bus, had some Jack Daniels, and then my tour manager's like, you want to go to the hospital now? I was like, I guess I have to. And it turns out it really broke my arm in half as far as the bone, compound fracture.
Wow.
Yeah, so I only had two choices, man. It was either surgery right then or continue the tour. So I was like, well, I asked him, will it heal itself? And he's like, yeah. I'm like,
wow.
I'll let it heal itself then.
So they strapped you up and you carried on?
Yeah, I wouldn't even let them do that. I mean, it was mandatory for them to put something on it to walk out, then I threw it away. I can't do it, man. I trip out.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. A little bit of it, yeah.
How do you feel your previous band, Vampires Everywhere, differs from Dead Girls Academy?
I would say Dead Girls Academy is a ton more melodic. Vampires was a very aggressive part of my life, especially in 2012. I mean, I was obsessed with Marilyn Manson. I've been my whole life, as far as that type of music, and so I felt like, I'm going to become him. And it got to a point where, I wrote that style of music. I looked like him. I wasn't becoming the person I wanted to be in that band. I was becoming someone else.
Yeah.
And so I think this band is more me.
Oh,
even though I'm not so dolled up as I was in that band, I'm still as dark as I was before, and it's just a more melodic side of that darkness. I think.
You've still got your own look going on, so that's all cool.
I appreciate it.
Basically, are there any similarities though?
I would say I still, everything has a dark twist to it. If I'm singing pop punk, there's still a dark twist to it. If I'm singing an indie style song on the record, there's still a dark twist to it. I can't escape this. This is darkness kind of follows me in any kind of thing I do musically. Even if I try to be happy, it's just for some reason it is just a little bit darker.
Okay.
So I mean, as far as I have a little raspling I do on all of my music, it just makes it, I guess, my voice, and that has continued on.
Awesome. In Vampires Everywhere, you brought a lot of different styles of music into the sound over the years, like industrial, alt rock, goth, metalcore, horror punk. Are your plans to bring as much experimental into Dead Girls Academy or not?
You know what? There's a little bit of everything in there. I mean, for instance, I'm a giant Him fan.
Oh, same.
Giant Him fan. I mean, anyway, I try to add as much of that into my music as possible. I mean, my experience just listening to that, I mean, it has really inspired me. And I'm also like, a Guns N' Roses fan, or I'm a this fan or that fan, and it all kind of combines into the sound. I think what drove it home a lot on the Vampires thing was the imagery of the band was very goth, industrial looking, and it was very horror punk. So it kind of emulated that no matter what I did. And I think this is kind of, you're kind of judging us more by the music, even though if you think we're cool looking guys, that's awesome, but you're more getting a musical feel from this,
Yeah, definitely. I know that Ronnie Radke has played a large role in the band's production and success. How was it working with Ronnie?
I mean, me and Ronnie lived together for 3 years. He's a really dope person. I mean, he helped me write this record, helped me do a lot of cool things. Took me on our first tours in this band, helped our band astronomically doing that as well. And we're still in touch today. I mean, he's doing his thing, I'm doing mine. Yeah. He seems like he's doing great. He's about to go on tour, and ourselves, we're about to go on tour once we get back in a week. So,
wow.
I mean, other than that, I think it was a great, relationship coming together and making this record.
Awesome. You have stated that living in Hollywood, you've seen a lot of fucked up things.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Are there any stories you can tell us that may potentially become songs in the future?
Oh man, it's like asking me if I have a fetish. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you I have. I know I do. It's somewhere ingrained in me, but I think more or less it's something I really can't explain as far as story. I mean, living out there and experiencing these people, sometimes you're just taken aback.
Yeah.
You're just like, that didn't happen. And it really did. And it's LA's more about moments than stories. I feel tour is about stories and LA is about moments. Because you end up finding yourself, I don't know, in House in the Hills, you're just like, wow, man. And then it's a moment and you're just like, I'll remember that. Yeah. And then I think living together with Ronnie as well, us together, that's how like a lot of these songs came to be. It's like, the girls coming in and out, the relationship with band members around us, relationship with people as they are in the bars, and they mingle with us, and it's just like insanity to see what people would do and the lengths they would go to try to get someone's attention or to try to get someone to be their boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it is out there. It's pretty bananas, man. And there, a lot of things I can't say. I mean,
no, for sure.
Kind of plead something on that, but I think more or less, go there, live there for a while. I was there for like 11 years. I'm still there. You'll experience some crazy stuff yourself, no matter what you get, promise you.
Cool. Yeah. In 2017, you were supporting Falling in Reverse, Motionless in White, and Issues on tour. It seemed like in a matter of days you were picked up by Victory Records. How did it all happen so fast? And what were your thoughts at this time with everything falling into place? It's a bit of a question.
It's great. No, I mean, at the time, me and Ronnie were living in Vegas, and we had just completed the EP. At that point in time, there was like 6 songs, I'm thinking. And I'd shown some people. I really didn't want to shop it around. I was kind of reluctant. I'm like, I've been doing that so many times in my life. 14 years. Like, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted it to be organic. So I ended up meeting a guy named Chris Bianchi, who was with CB Entertainment. He was with Mercenary Management.
Okay.
They managed Black Veil and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And I ran into him when I was in Vampires, and it just didn't work back then for some reason. And he's like, hey man, what are you up to? And I sent him the album. He's like, oh, this is amazing. do you mind if I show some labels this? I was like, you can. I mean, just, you know, don't act desperate or anything. I want to see what people actually think of this. And he's like, Victory's interested. I mean, I know, you know, he's like, I know it's crazy and it's early to be thinking about this, but are you something you consider? I'm like, Victor's gangster, man. You know, I grew up on all their bands. And when I heard Victory, I was like, I love it. I love the stigma behind it. I love the death roast thing behind it. You know, it feels like I'm joining Suge Knight's label on what's going over there. You know, because Tony has such an amazing reputation over there. And I was like, yeah, man, fucking, let's see what happens with this. A day later, I'm in Chicago, and I'm having dinner with him, and he's telling me a little bit about stuff. And you know, I'm an energy person, and since I've heard so much about Tony from other people, you know, I had a thing in my mind. I was like, well, I wonder what this will be like. And then I sat down with him, like, oh shit, we're the same person. I was like, you know, and we kind of meshed immediately. And I was like, this is where
you just click with someone, and that's who we got.
Yeah. And then Ron over there does the radio and all, and helps us out astronomically. Tom, all these people, man. It was one of those things where it was like, oh, these are real people, and they do care about the music, and that was really cool.
Yeah, it comes across that, like, because when I talk to Tom, you know, it just comes across a real friendly
just
vibe.
Chill, man. Just, you know, it's like, hey, how you fucking doing? You know, and that's the crazy part about that label, man, is I have not dealt with that. Everyone's always freaking high strung at labels, man. You know, they're just like, okay, all right. That's you know, I dig that. Yeah, even though I'm the high strung one, so yeah.
Right. Cannibal and I'll Find a Way both have really thought out theatrical videos. How much creative input did you have in the videos?
Well, I'll Find a Way, I think Scott Henson did a great job on. They're all my artistic vision. Now, the problem is to achieve these visions, you need an astronomical amount of money. Because everything in my head is a freaking movie. And and I think I'll Find a Way was our best video because it was a lot of performance. I mean, I was running, and there's really key scenes in it, and it made it very easy. No Way Out. I don't think that video came out to the way I wanted it to come out. I wanted something a little bit more cinematic. To be clear, Billie Eilish actually came out with the video. Something Your Grave or I Kill You Again or Buried, some shit, I don't know what it's called, but that's exactly the No Way Out video. Like, it was like, I'm like, that's what it should look like if I had $1 million. You know what I mean? And I think that video fell short, but you know, I love the song. And it's the best that could have happened, you know, making that video with what we had. So, I mean, out of both videos, I'll Find a Way, I'm more proud of that. I'm more proud of that. But artistically, I write everything. And if I had my druthers, it would look better. Yeah,
because the gun bit's pretty...
Oh, and I'll Find a Way. Dude, You know what's crazy? What's crazy is that this is Ronnie's whole thing, man. We were on tour, and he's like, yo, why don't you shoot yourself in the head? And I was like, what? He's like, in the video, just blow your fucking brains out or something, dude. Do something like that. And I was like,
pretty strong.
And I was like, I thought about it. Literally, this is me, dude. I was like, all right. And then when it happened, I put the actual fake gun in my mouth. I was like, okay, I get what this is. You know, and that's where his genius lies. You know what I mean? Like, he understands that shit. I more or less at that time, I'm like, ooh, you know, I was very scared. I'm scared of the world after what happened in my last band. You know, and what my managers were telling me, the labels were telling me, like, I was backed into a corner, man. You know, where I should have been more of an Eminem character because I was the most hated person in the scene for one time. You know, just for the music was just so, you know, I'm a vampire, are you? You know, like Twilight came out at the same time, and when we came out, and everyone was like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean? And the band's based off the Lost Boys, and no one understood that. And I was just so backed into a corner because everything I did that was crazy, my manager would slam down. You know what I mean? Instead of embracing it. Like, the guy from the New York Times called our record, Vampires, some sort of piece of shit, he called it. I don't remember.
Oh my God.
And my fans got to win the bid. I just went online, I'm like, let them know how much you love us. And they threatened his life.
Wow.
And so that got in the paper. And instead of the management accepting, like, New York Times is threatened, whatever, that could have been the friggin' TMZ, you know what I mean? Nah, you're a bad person, you're this. So when he's like, put a gun to your mouth, I was like...
The bad publicity, good publicity.
You like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? We'll go with that, man. But yeah, large tangent, but that's how it
much negativity of it or not?
No. Actually, that was the craziest part. I think the message in the song you know, showing everyone, especially with all these crazy things about suicide happening right now.
Yeah.
It's just like that had a light at the end of the tunnel.
Awesome.
And I think a lot of people caught on to that, especially, you know, even Kevin Lyman. I know no one really said anything to me. I was waiting for it, you know, I mean, like, there's a gun in your head.
Backlash.
YouTube didn't censor it, nothing.
Awesome.
So I was like, okay.
That's
you know,
lovely.
I was really happy about that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Alchemy was released in June 2018 with fans already eager for new content. When do you plan to start working on a follow-up?
We've already started.
Sweet.
Me and Alex, the guy that wanted to be in the video and just sit with me and hang out, really cool guy, and he's a really good producer. And we ended up doing around like 10 songs right now, and we're sitting on them right now, just trying to tweak them out, see what's going on with it. We might do some writing collabs and stuff like that, but if I had to guess, I would say 2019 it will be out. I would love to get it out. I hate sitting on content. I hate waiting on content. I mean, you know, everyone's attention spans nowadays are just like, and I would love to put out a single right now. I mean,
that's what I was going to ask.
You know,
are you just going to wait for the whole album to be done, or do you reckon you might do a little EP, or?
You know, I don't know. I'm assuming they want an LP. I mean, it's all LPs today, unless you're like, I don't know, unless you're a Day to Remember or some shit, you know, where you already have an established thing going on. You just, you know, pump out 4 songs, everyone's like, yeah, you know, for us, it's like an established body of work.
Yeah.
Especially that's what the label wants and stuff, so, you know, I'm cool with that. And, you know, I like pumping that out because then you have all this content that you can work with, so. I mean, hopefully 2019.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best with it.
I appreciate it.
I'm here with Mike. We're just about to do a show. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm standing on drums tonight. I'd like to thank you.
Oh man, thank you.
For spending time with Metal Nexus.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Doing an interview. There's one last question I always ask.
Yeah.
And I know the answer.
Okay.
Jack Daniels or lager?
Jack Daniels.
Are you buying?
I'll buy you, bro.
Yeah.
But I will say one thing. I will, because we're in the UK. For y'all that don't know, this is brewed here, and it's a lot different. It's a lot different. Yeah, I have not. The ratio's different.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. See you all later.
Yeah.